been a while since I've done this. I can usually tell because I had to scroll the clock back a little bit further than usual, but she'll be right. Alrighty. We'll give it one run, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to switch over to Yoshi because I do need to be practicing that one. Oh, I barely started, I'm already yawning like I hinge my jaw. Yeah, so today and tomorrow is going to be a lot of the same thing. It's just going to be Pokemon run into Yoshi if things don't go according to plan, or if the run just doesn't really work out. And then on Saturday, some Street Fighter again. Next week, it's going to be a lot of the same as well, because well, there's something going on that has me very, very nervous. Not. Oh, thank you for the platinum points. I was not aware. Not a gaming thing that I'm worried about, it's something else. So, I don't necessarily want to be doing too much. I didn't feel the greatest, but yeah, it's fine enough. My hands are just a little bit stiff. Ugh, it's a little over a month until I'll be in Sydney for OHN as well, so looking forward to that. Is it really this weekend? Next weekend. I think it's next weekend. Doo-doo-doo. So kind of think of what I want to do with my hair for OHN. I didn't really do anything for ASM. Just get it like recolored. That's just expensive. Ugh. Right, 3 hits will be fine. Get the job done. Stats are looking pretty good. Would have been nice if our defense was maybe a little bit lower, but it's good. We got the stats that we need. Well, at the very least that we want. Yeah, up to 16. Whoa. Do we get the big packs? Ash Bay here, so don't accidentally talk to Hop again. This little moment of peace and quiet is very nice. Give us a whirler. These are not whirler. None of these are whirler. Now what? Yeah, at least level 4. Could be worse. Next week I will get back to doing the Dynasty Warriors routing, because I've only managed to get through one chapter so far. And it was... ugh. Depending on how long it takes me to get through the other chapters, I'll be able to do some trial runs of it soonish. But I'm having fun just like doing all the routing on stream. It's been interesting. I don't think that crit saves us a turn. Because I think we may have been able to 3-shot regardless. We weren't going to be getting a 2-shot unless we like double crit. Yeah. I was not trusting my depth perception on that one. I was just take a little bit of time, go around him. Alrighty. I'm pretty sure we have enough special attack to two-shot everything at the very least. Alright. Never mind. I think we just low rolled some of this. And then we high rolled to counteract it. That's usually the one that's more variable, just because various stat ranges and also damage rolls will cause that to be a 3-shot a lot of the time. Alright, so we do have a 1 in 16 to one-shot this without the need for a crit. Just roll the dice. Nope. It's all good. As you can see, compared to the average, it's doing just fine. The zigs are going so early. Ooh. Nearly got pinched in. That would have been annoying. Please have some good, like, Denlock. I can actually not walk the whole goddamn length of the place. Thank you. Give me the best one. I would have accepted the back up to the left, but very happy to see this one. Right, you want to give a wide enough berth to both the Onyx and also that tree, because if you get too close to them, they will give you little messages talking about, or tutorializing them. It's like, oh, watch out for very dangerous enemies, you're in the wild area. Right, we already have the Watts, so we can just go talk to you. Grab our quick balls. And move on. Alright, just a few more battles. We don't have to worry about the Sobble anymore. Cool, we get the paralysis. We break through it once, we just need to break through it a couple more times and we're fine. Hopefully only 2 more times. Alright, come on, we can do it. Thank you. There we go. Not bad. Alright. So really held up. Hopefully Hop can help us out here. But he did not. Buddy, you really need to start helping out. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to go to the DLC area and see if this run has anything in it. Da-da-da-ba. Actually, we're not too bad. Hey, Medri! Thank you so much for the raid and welcome on in, everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful evening. And welcome on in. What were you all up to tonight? Let me just pull that up. Right. I'm just doing my usual speedrun thing. Doing speedrunning of Pokemon Sword. We'll get to see whether or not this run actually has something up for it. My last stream of Clay Obscure, Intermediate Stride Bracket, and Uma Musume. Ooh, a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun there. Well, I hope you had a good time with it all. Yeah, the way this speedrun works for Pokemon Sword and Shield 80% with DLC is that we get a random Pokemon out of this little adventure thing that we get, or this activity that we get to do. We don't know which one it's going to be. Hopefully it's going to be a good Pokemon that I can actually run, or I'm going to be switching over to another game, which I have a little thing coming up that I need to be practicing for. See how this all goes. Da-da-da. We don't have the bike yet, we just have to slowly wander our way through this section. So the way the activity works is you do a whole bunch of raid battles. Alright, that's something. I like the buzz. There is Ekploud on round 2, that is very good. We can go and grab that. Wait, no, that's a Garbodor. Wrong one. In which case, oh, there's a Alolan Raichu on round 2. That one is very good. That has been one of my most successful Pokemon kind of ever. But we do need to actually make our way through this. Psyshock is probably not the best because it's hitting into the physical defense of this Bulldog. Especially now. In which case I'm going to start using my allies to, and never mind. Not going to get the chance. That helps us. Alright, so now... what was this? I don't really want to... Good. Happy that none of my allies decide to run with it either. So we'll be able to grab this Alolan Raichu, and it shall be the Pokemon that we'll be using for the rest of the run. And I'm starting to hit my allies now because ideally, by the time we actually grab the Pokemon, we will then want to get out of the Dynamax adventure as quickly as possible, and the only way to do that is to either complete the whole thing or to run out of lives. But we do want to make sure that we don't just wipe before we even get the Pokemon. That would be not great. Doesn't gleam, good. That's a very good critical hit. Good, good, good. I'll catch it and use it, and even though we've only taken the one life loss, we should be able to get rid of the rest pretty quickly, because Alolan Raichu, it just comes with some good moves. We are going to be switching some of them around when we get out of here, but for the most part it is very, very good. I just want to ensure that my allies aren't going to be doing anything with that bug. Ugh. Lyron, do you have... Wait, you have Rock Slide, don't you? Dude. I think my hair was a mistake. That's actually a pretty handy crit to get. Because the Boulder was trying to attack. Oh, thank God. Let's do a second here. Gets rid of you. It doesn't feel right that I can use Thunderbolt on those, but it all works. And we're actually getting in and out with some pretty good time. Minus defense is very, very scary. That makes it very scary. And only getting plus special defense for that is actually like probably the worst we could have gotten. What is it? What's special defense? Minus defense. I'm just putting all the numbers into my calculator so I know what the hell I'm working with. Interesting. Alright, so my speed is at 7, my attack is at 1, and everything else is at least 30, which is... yeah, it's decent enough. Alright, so now... I just need to teach a few moves. So what I have, Psychic on 3, right? Yeah. Electro Ball, Nasty Plot, Psychic, Discharge. That's going to be the move list that we're going to be working with for this. Once we're out of all this. I'm just going to quickly... I'm just grabbing some of those just because I feel like getting some extra experience and some extra levels is probably... It's probably not going to be the deal breaker, but every little bit of help I can get in terms of some stats later on, I feel like is going to help out. Even though we are going to be using Nasty Plot for a lot of this, we will be wanting to grab some of these. Because later on, there'll be some situations where we're not really going to be able to Nasty Plot. Electro Ball, even though Thunderbolt is very good, Electro Ball just clears it in a bunch of circumstances. Discharge. Yeah, this is going to be the build that we're going to be using for the rest of the run. And hopefully we don't explode with our really bad defense. Also, after this fight, I will be running a few minutes of ads, just, you know, to keep Twitch happy, and again, you're not really going to be missing out too much. I'm just going to be navigating between 2 routes, but just gives an opportunity for me to, you know, just look forward and see if I'm going to actually explode for sure. And whether or not I do. Like, I'm pretty sure my damage is fine for a lot of this. Yeah, this section just comes down to a lot of just minor optimizations, but hopefully we can get it all to work. So, off to a good start, pretty much bang on the average that we want, and we're going to be running 2 minutes of ads, so want to avoid them, you know the drill. Summon to the channel, Twitch Turbo, etc, etc. Alrighty. Hopefully I don't run into, like, all of the potential Zigzagoons that can be here, like that one. And these two. They were so kind to me. They just stood there for a sec. Gave me the perfect little window to get past them. Oh, there's a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase that's on soon-ish. I completely forgot that was a thing. So yeah, one thing that makes electric really good for this run is that there isn't all, like, in the grand scheme of things, we don't end up dealing with too many things that are ground type. There's like a few here and there, like this upcoming fight is going to be 2 of them, but we're still at that point where we are significantly over leveling them, and we have Psychic to deal with a lot of them. Fortunately, there's no... Fortunately, there's no ground dark that we would have to deal with, because that would be a flat up wall that we wouldn't be able to deal with. The annoying ones are a ground steel. We do run into a few of those towards the end, but we have ways to get through those, kinda. Ground steel. There's also grass steel, which is a little bit of a nuisance. But by and large, electric and psychic have a reasonably okay time. There is going to be that section later on where it's going to be just a lot of just a lot of dark types, with all of the TDL, there's Marnie, and then going through Piers' gym. Like, dark types, as far as I can see, which I love. However, having to deal with that as a psychic type with very low defense can get a little bit scary, and has killed quite a few runs of this. Nice. Because I do compare to my averages, it is going to be very common that I'll just be slowly chipping away at the timer. Like, I'll be saving a little bit of time here and there on most splits. There's going to be some that I will be, like, giving up some time, just because I have to do a little bit of extra sidetracking to get various items and stuff. I do need to. didn't mean to say hello to the Amber, but always happy to do so. Because he's just a fun little guy. They do just have a lot of really just neat little guys in this generation. Alrighty. First gym. We still significantly out-level it, so we're just gonna spam away. The hardest thing about this gym is making sure that the Wooloo don't give us too much of a hassle. Trying to wrangle them around. They have given me some issues in the past. Hopefully they'll be fine tonight. These just bring it all together. Good. For half a second I was worried that one or two of them were going to just like squeeze out from the ride and just like go off in a completely different tangent. But fortunately, it was not to be the case. I did. It sounds silly, but it has taken me kind of this long to actually get to this point, but I do have a much more clear visual cue of where and when to actually stop to ensure that I do get like the same part through this third column. Then just stop here, and then we just go. Never mind, they decided they did not want to cooperate. And this is what I mean when they just decide to get a little bit out of hand. I think I pushed up a little bit too quickly so that they just didn't... Like, if I'm too close to them, they will just, like, spread out like that. And it does kind of make it much easier for them to just kind of bounce off some of the corners. But if I stay back a little bit further and just, like, push them, they stay a little bit more clumped up. And they can avoid that from happening. But unfortunately, I think at that visual cue, I think I stood there for too long. I only need to be there just to, like, stop. Like, as soon as I come to a standstill, that is when I go. Like, yeah, well, that's fine. Oh yeah, I always forget that there is one Pokemon that also it's kind of weirdly annoying to deal with for the Alolan Raichu, and it's Morpeko. Because a lot of the Pokemon that we have to do like not very effective damage into, we can often just like push through that with the very high-powered Electro Ball. But unfortunately, Morpeko is fast enough that it... God, that thing's loud. Unfortunately, Morpeko is fast enough that it actually drops the power down to where it's not as easy to just barge through with that. Makes that less of a possibility. At this point, it is quicker to just go to the map and fly to the same town, because if you are in the same town, if there's like no... if you're not really going anywhere, in terms of like zones, there's no loading screen when you fly, so we'll be also using that a little bit later on as well. We do a decent amount of flying around Hammerlock while we are in Hammerlock, just because it is faster to do that than to, you know, walk the whole way or bike the whole way, because we are getting the bike now. Well, after this fight. Yeah, we'll be running through this one until it probably will die at Piers. If if this run is going to fall apart, it's probably going to be at Piers. But that's not for another hour and a half? Something like that. It's gonna be a while. Because Piers is, it's gym number 7. 6 is Gordy. Dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. All right, gym number 2. I've already been yawning, like, as soon as I started this run. It's almost like a Pavlovian effect at this point. Supposed to actually talk to him. Oh, I thought I ran too quickly, but we're fine. just do this. Spam a little bit of psychic. Need to remember after this gym to grab the magnet. And we can grab it, well, we can equip it after we get through the cave. Or the mine, I guess. And also, the same time that we are... The same time that we are equipping the magnet, we can use those experience candies that I grabbed back at the Dynamics Adventures. In that little lobby section. One second. Wait for the background noises. Just trying to keep them as far away from the mic as possible, but... Alrighty. A little bit more talking. And once we're out of this cutscene, and when I make my way out of this building, I will then have to go and grab the magnet. It's in this little, it's going to be in a little, like a little picnic area. Ooh. I have a pocket TCG pocket pack to open. I've been only opening Huo packs because I was a gold player, not a silver player. Let's see what we got. Okay, actually look through them once I'm in the battle with Bead. Hi, sort of run into that woman coming through. Alrighty, so what have we got? Apop, Fanfi, Maril, Ramble, and Howdoom. Two new ones, but largely unremarkable. As I was saying earlier, there are going to, because we are comparing against averages, there are going to be a lot of splits where we're just chipping away at the timer, just gaining time constantly. But there are going to be some splits where we are going to be going in the opposite direction, and this is going to be one of those, and mostly because we did have to do a bit of extra. We had to go and grab that magnet. Should be fine. Which is also nice that we have a way to do double battles really well. Fortunately, we will be having to knock out our partner's Pokemon at the same time, but... no. Bim, ba-dum, bim, bim. Let's get past here, thank you. It is very easy to get bogged down in that area, just because what's it called? The spawn patterns of some of the Pokemon in the overworld can sometimes be just like at that apex and force you to go the long way around, or just run straight into them, in which case you then have to wait a cycle on that spinner. But nah, we're all good. That rare candy we can use a little bit later on. There's a couple others that we may want to pick up, or at the very least, do I want to pick up the ones in Hamlock? And it's the kind of thing where, if I'm going to be using the rare candies in order to help keep myself alive in some fights, I'd want to be doing it before I get anywhere near Spikeman. But the best time to actually use them will be later on when I'm grabbing the... what's it called? The vitamins once we get to Winden. Go, a little bit of time back. Alrighty, run along the gutter so you don't run into people on the top side that are on the sidewalk, or run into the person that's in the middle. We want to catch 2 Litwicks, and also knock out a Vulpix. We are very well equipped for this one. Oop, catch it. Hey, Grimmer, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful stream. What were you all up to this evening? So, I'm just doing some Pokemon speedrunning. Hello, Cyber. Hello, Grimmer. Hello, Ursa. Welcome in. Also, Ursa, it was great to see you, even if it was only briefly at ASM. Also, well done on your run. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I was already going to be there around that time because I had posting right after your run, but I mean I had to be around to get to see your run. It was a lot of fun. It went so bad, we had so much fun. I think it went very well. Like the thing that I always go into a marathon run, like the mentality that I always have is like things don't need to go perfect. They just need to, like, if things go slightly awry, at least let them be in an entertaining way, or at least in a way that I can show that this is the kinds of things that we're dealing with in the speedrun. That's always what I go into, like, a marathon run with the mentality of. It's like, it's nice if things go all according to plan, but even if they don't, I can at least show that it's like, hey, yeah, this is what we're dealing with in this game. Or, and another like kind of underrated aspect of speedrunning for marathons is being able to being able to adapt to when the game is being a bit of a pain in the ass. Like, that is a very, very underrated skill. And I think you did very well at that. Yeah, because a lot of people, they would just, if things go slightly right, they're like, fine, go next. Because it's very easy to do that if you're just going to be like, if you're just like looking for a good time, then yeah, you are just going to be doing a lot more resetting. But for the sake of marathons, you don't really have that, you don't have that flexibility. Wasn't for a good time. I mean, Could be either. The stream would have spent like 30 minutes resetting the first 2 missions. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's like, it is a very underrated skill to be able to just like push through the dodgy runs and being able to like come out on the other side being like, yeah, that wasn't my greatest, but we were able to make like an entertaining showcase of it. And that's how I've gone into a lot of mine. I was lucky that my very first ASM run was incredibly cooked. It was doomed from the very, very start. So the very first ASM run that I did was in 23? I did a speedrun of a game called Eastern Exorcist, and I was using, like, I used a leverless controller for that. And at the time I was using the Snackbox Micro. I got to the setup and found out at that moment that 2 of my buttons were no longer working. So that was a problem, at which point I had to essentially, for my marathon run, essentially learn the run again on keyboard. On the keyboard that I had at the setup. I was like, So here I am, trying to do the speedrun where I'm also having to relearn how to play the game on keyboard. So I was like, I swear this game is good. I swear this run is much better than what I'm showing. So yeah, I'm... It's a blessing in disguise that my very first ASM run was that. So... Oh. Anything after that, I'm just like, I'm fine. I can recover from anything at that point. What's the bottom of the stream the other day, and you were just fibbing. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, we do just be saying things. You're going to sleep. Alright. Take care, Grimmer. And thanks for the raid. Hope you had a wonderful day and a wonderful stream. And take care. Yeah, so that was the run I did, the ASM that just went. That was my 3rd ASM where I got to do a run, but my 4th run with Oz Speedruns. Because 23, I did the Eastern Exorcist one. And then later that year for the PAX, I did Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is what I'm doing right here. It was this category as well, so it was all nice. 24, I did Street Fighter 6. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 World Tour, and then this year I did Yoshi's Crafted World. And I've been pleasantly surprised that they keep on letting me do all these, like, seemingly, the games just don't match up, like, stylistically. It's like, what the hell am I doing? A fighting game, a cute Yoshi game, and then this Chinese-style Sekiro 2D game? Doing all sorts of games, and also Pokemon. It's like, what's going on? Yeah, it's been a lot of fun being able to get to show off those runs. I did not submit anything for PAX because I do not really have the funds to be able to get to PAX, but next year I have some ideas. Individual Malik Towns. Thank you, I appreciate it. I do have a few ideas for what I want to submit for next year. At least a few ideas. We'll see how they go, how those pan out. But yeah. Also with OHN on the start of September, I do have that to be looking forward to, which I'm really excited for. Shadow Generations for next year. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, the things that I want to submit next year, I do want to like revisit Eastern Exorcist. One that I really do want to get into next year would be a Sekiro randomizer. That is one thing that I'm a real big fan of doing. I would love to submit that next year. There's Dynasty Warriors Origins, which I did submit this year, didn't get in, but hopefully I'll be able to next time. Oh, another fun thing that I've been kind of working on as a nice shorter run, because a lot of the games that I do speedrun, it's like multi-hour endeavors. This thing, 4 hours. The Yoshi one that I do is like 2.5. Dynasty Warriors, 4 hours. Most of my runs, it's like 2 hours is the low end. And I just needed something that's much shorter. So what I've been working on is DNF Duel Arcade Mode Speedrun. Because why not? That game is... I really like that game. That game is goofy as fuck. I love it. And it's like, why not? So that and because it's on the Switch, I can just... It's so much easier to fucking get to a setup. To get to events. It's like, just take the goddamn Switches. Do it on the Switch. So that is something that I do have as something to submit for next year. So I wouldn't say a main one. I would say DNF Duel is a main one, but it is an option that I do want to submit for next year. But yeah, Sekiro. The Sekiro, because that is an hour and a half. Like, depends on the rule, not the rules. Depending on the randomizer settings, it can go between like an hour and 2 hours. Hey Dash. So yeah, it would be nice to have some shorter runs to be able to submit, because one thing that was happening quite a bit during ASM was that we were having some times where we would have breaks of like 20-30 minutes, and it was like, how do we fill this? And occasionally it would be either Stan or Noobs who would be like, you have a 15-minute thing that I can throw in here, which that's cool, being able to do that. It would be nice if I had something to like help do those kind of roles as well. That is one thing that like arcade mode speedrun could definitely do, especially if it's on the Switch. Just plug that in, 15 minutes, away you go. So yeah. Alright, let me see if I can get this skip. I haven't gotten this since I showed this game off at fucking ASAP 2023. Yeah. Still haven't gotten that skip since ASAP. Since that PAX run. Oh. Goofy ass. What other things were I looking at? I do want to learn the full Lost Judgment run. I've done a bit of the Kaito Files, which is the like the DLC story for Lost Judgment, which is 50 minutes to an hour. Lost Judgment is a little bit beyond that. I do want to fully learn that, because that's another game that I just absolutely adore, but haven't really gotten around to learning the speedrun for. Yeah, I just have this page of all the games that I was like, I want to speedrun all these. It's like, these are things that I want to work on for like next ASM. So yeah, there's Sekiro, Dynasty Warriors, Lost Judgment, Eastern Exorcist. I do need to get around to what's it? Scarlet and Violet speedrunning. Nullstar Soulless, which is a game that is actually an Australian-made game that will be coming out soon-ish. And I have a friend who's also working on that, and that is a very fun game. DNF Duel. I did also put Strive Arcade Mode in there as well, but the DNF Duel one is much funnier because DNF Duel is a goofy ass game and I love it. Hades, Warriors Abyss, Yoshi of course. Oh my god, it takes so much damage. What else was there? Oh yeah, I was considering learning Halo ODST. I still need to get around to watching the ASM run. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it live because I was asleep because I needed to do hosting a little bit after that. But yeah, there's a bunch of games that I do want to, like, and a bunch of the runs that I didn't get around to watching live that I need to get around to. But yeah. Watch the Nintendo Direct and always doze off in the middle when I get to the show and is building a campfire and nothing else. Yeah, that seems nice. Kind of quaint. Sometimes you need something a little nothing. I'll probably see what's going on with all of the direct stuff later. Yes. We want to use Discharge here. Because we don't want to use Super Effective against Hop. He likes to talk. A lot. Tactics. Oh, nice. That works. A few Square Enix games that meant to go EP. Nice. Oh, yeah, FF Tactics. Octopath, huh? Friends, we'll talk about it a little bit earlier, but when it comes to like Silk Song and when that does eventually come out, I'm so worried that people have built that up way beyond what I think it's capable of. I think it's going to be a good game. However, I don't think a good game will be enough for the people who have been going on about Silk Song for the past, like, decade. Alrighty, let's try not to screw this up. Ooh, nice bounce. Gonna get over 17 before Silk Song. Silk should be out before the end of the year. I think there was a tentative release date. Yeah, it's got like 15 more years in the works. True. Every moment spent talking about Silk Song adds more timer to the dev cycle. That's just how things work these days. Well, specifically for Silk Song. Alrighty. Protect. Meh. Oh my god. Don't you dare do it a third time. Sure, man. Like Elder Scrolls. Yep. That's just how dev cycles work. Alright, they're going to use priority. They are programmed to always use a priority move. Fortunately... Well, I guess actually, unfortunately. It'd be better if they had something that was just neutral. But both of the priority moves that they have we resist in Mach Punch and Bullet Punch. Move it. Alright. Let's use a nasty plot. For revenge. Let's just charge on everything and then psychic on the Machamp. I can do a little bit of setup just because Machamp is kinda bulky. Ooh, no detect. Getting random shinies have hit my champion ability. Maybe use them. I love them. Yeah, they're kind of just there. It's like as a neat kind of reference at the time, and they were like, oh yeah, cool. And they kind of did kind of a similar thing with Throw and Sork. But not being like a reference to people, but more just styles, like fighting styles. It'd be interesting if they did like more like Hitmon something. Because we've got Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop. Just turn... just make a whole bunch of Hitmons just in a similar way that we have like a whole bunch of evolutions. It's just more Hitmons. Party Pokemon, I hated like a challenge, an XY, and then that made you fall in love with Klefki. I like Klefki, it's neat. Like, for some reason, I get a little bit mixed up in my head Klefki and Comfey, just because they're both like little supportive fairy things, and like they could both be somewhat usable in some situations. I'm pretty sure in Gen 8 there was a point where I think one of them was being useful. For some reason, I had in my head a combination of like Comfey and Solgaleo. Was it those? No, it was Comfey and Hawlucha. Yes, I now I now remember. It was Comfey Hawlucha. I had a weakness policy on an unburdened Hawlucha and just had Comfey do a Draining Kiss on it because it works at a priority speed. I think that's what I did. It was something like that. It was a little cheesy, didn't work all the time, but when it did, it was very funny. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm going to run a few minutes of ads just because we are just going to be getting dialogue for the next few minutes. Again, you won't be missing out on too much. Hang tight, we'll still be here when you get back. Ba-da-dum. Oh, also, this next gym is very easy. We just get to use Electro Ball on everything. We do not need any setup whatsoever. It's wonderful. Sorry about the typing. Marco's playing with your hand, but he's dead. Go get him, Marco. Flatter, that's annoying. I feel like I do need to answer this one correctly so I don't tank all of my defenses and then just explode. Ah! Can I not hit myself this time? Thank you. Still confused? Come on, man. Is that maximum turns of confusion? God damn. This is usually the gym where I get to save like a whole bunch of time because I get to Electro Ball everything, but hitting myself 3 times in confusion, that's rough. Alright, we do have to get this one correct. Because this is how we get all of our damage. With the Electro Ball. Well, actually, I think my average for this split was pushed back a little bit because of the run where I needed to get acrobatics. Yeah, that'll do it. And also the fact that pretty much every other run has to do a turner setup here. Yeah, we're still fine. Even though we did lose 3 turns to smacking ourselves around with confusion. Way. Yeah, 7 speed, 30 special attack, all neutral. So that's fine. It's a bit later where some of the speed, with the speed options, can come into it. So we don't accidentally say yes to her offer. We can fly back on our... Trying to think what kind of Pokemon I want to pick up in this next round. Because usually it's just grab a Ponyard and you'll be fine. Yeah, probably still will be what I'll go with. It's usually just the best option. We don't want to grab a Togedemaru with this one because if they have Lightning Rod, it completely ruins our day. We can Electro Ball this. Even though it's resisted, Trevenant is also incredibly slow. So... Electro Ball just gets super powered at that point. I can't remember where our speed is at. Full crit. Snorlax? It's not Snorlax. Cinderace, I have to use one of these two because it is also one of those Pokemon that's going to be fast enough to diminish the amount of power that we're working with on our Electro Ball. What? Alright, Poniards. Where are you? Oh, right there. Sure. At the very front. Front and center. Now actually be caught, because for some reason some of these Poniards do not like getting in the ball. Thank you. Weirdly enough, I have had some okay runs of this category with Roselia. Right after this fight, once we've got the ladder, there is a Bright Stone that you can pick up and actually make it a Rosa raid. And at that point, you just start cooking. And I think he gets some like reasonable moves. Yeah, that path down the bottom there. Like bottom right. Gets you to that Bright Stone. And I'll check if it does in fact get it might get Mystical Fire. Oh, this one's gonna save me, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. Say hello. Oh my god. Oh my god, what the... What do you mean another? Why are you still... Don't you have like a tether? I hate these fucking girders. What the hell, man? That point. I should just get Search Chester music just to play like stream intros, just because it is like it's chill as a vibe, so I love it. The theme for this town is probably my favorite, just because it is very, very chill. I love it. Thank you. timing, which means we should be able to get the shorter route on this third section. Yep. What? Shell smash, that's fine. I think we're still faster though. We are. We're slowly approaching the section where this run could end up dying just because of our really unfortunate defense. Our physical defense, I should say. Alrighty. We could have been saving time if it wasn't for those damn fucking girders just getting in the way. We'll say the one thing that's taken the biggest hit to his reputation, to me, from speedrunning this game, it has to be Gerda. Everything else is like, oh, whatever. But Gerda? Nah, fuck him. Alrighty, we can actually do this fight without any setup, which is great considering all the hail chip that we're going to be taking. What's going to be a small X. Yep, we Electro Ball that. Another nice side effect of having a move that gets stronger the higher the disparity between our speed slots. Cinderace. Let's charge again. Gotta use Psychic because this thing has, I think, Lightning Rod. We do get this little bit of extra dialogue, but that's fine considering the fact that we did not need to do any setup or take any extra turns to get through the fight. Ideally, I'd turn around before I get in the bike, but... Alright, so its Pangoro does have Bullet Punch, but again, we do resist it, but we do have, like, bugger all physical defense. And Pangoro does have some heft behind it. Luckily, they didn't go for it. Thank you. Bye! Alright, we're fine. Oh, Delmires! We get to see one! Yippee! I always enjoy seeing that Pokemon. Don't know why, I just really like it. Whoa. Marnie, we do have to do a turn of setup just because. Ooh, that works for us really well. Because that means that we don't have to worry about Torment. Wait, where's our health at? 127. Yeah, we're fine. We're very likely to cop a Sucker Punch here. No? Okay. Okay. We have to use Discharge because that is, unfortunately, the best move we have for this Pokemon. Couple of golds here or there. Take that. Alrighty. There are a few Pokemon that do have priority here in this. Like, I'm pretty sure this Beevil has Sucker Punch. Pretty sure. Thankfully, they don't go for it. Our defense is only at 89. Alright, Scrafty, we can use Electro Ball on. Discharge on the Weavile. We do a little bit of healing in the double battle. I am going to be very sad if something happened to a previous All Raichu run where I'm like, oh, I'm going to be safe. I'm above the threshold that I need to be at so I don't have to worry about Sucker Punch. Cue the crit Sucker Punch. That kills the run. Hopefully we don't get that today. Hopefully we just have a nice, clean fight. It is going pretty well so far. Discharge. Use opportunity to heal. I am just going to use the big one. just to ensure that we are at like maximum health. Because I do not trust this Scrafty to not tear me a new one. Like the combination of the Scrafty hit and also the Skunk Tank. The Skunk Tank Sucker Punch. Like those two together, the 1-2 punch, can definitely get the job done against me. So hopefully we don't run into that situation. They're probably going to go with Payback, I think is the move they have. Because they have what? Fake Out, Payback, Brick Break, Sand Attack. You usually go for an X item with at the start of this fight, even if you do have something like Sword Stance or a Nasty Plot, because of the existence of the Fake Out and how they very frequently go for it unless they have like a significantly better option, like a very high-powered super effective move. You are just going to be wanting to just use the X item instead of trying to force your way through the Fake Out. Alright, one turn is set up. They're going to go for Payback. Oh, they do go for the Fake Out. That's perfect for us. We love that for us. Which means we should be safe for the rest of this. It might be... might be tempting fate, but I'm pretty sure at like 95% health, a Sucker Punch is not gonna knock me out. I'm pretty sure. Bagoon. You do go for Obstruct, even though you have like Throat Chop to... Oh thank god that failed. Oh my god, if that failed we would have had to resort to a fucking... we've had to resort to Electro Ball. It should have been fine, but don't want to have to. Oh, no Sucker Punch. Thank you. I'm thankful that that played out as like as best as it could, even with the attempted double obstruct. We take those. Yay, another Darmize! We got 2 of them! Hell yeah. I think Darmize is up there when it comes to my favorite non-dark type Pokemon. Because dark types just like naturally are high up on my favorites lists. And then there's everything else. But there are like a bunch of Pokemon that aren't dark types that I do really, really like. Darmize being one, Dragapult being another. Fucking, what are those? The Goofy Birds, Cramorant, Flamigo. Fucking love them. What good designs. They're so silly, but I love them so much. I think that's partly why I love them. So, coming into this final gym, we are forced into a whole bunch of double battles, which is why we need the second Pokemon. Even though we do have Discharge, we don't want to be using Discharge on every trainer, just because if we were to do that, we'd knock out our Pawniard and have to revive him at before the start of the next battle, because each of the battles, they're like, you have to have at least 2 Pokemon to actually get into this battle. And if you only have 1 Pokemon remaining, they're like, come back when you've got like some actual Pokemon. All of that kind of goes out the window when it comes to the third battle, because at the end of the third battle of these gym battles, if you end the battle with only a single Pokemon remaining, just do this, because it is going to put you into the it immediately puts you the tunnel at the stadium tunnel into the final battle with the gym battle with Leader. And because the game wants you to have at least 2 Pokemon to make sure that it is in fact a double battle, they will just heal your entire party if you have everything else already defeated. So it is just actually part of the strategy to just take out all of your partner Pokemon heading in that final, in the third of these battles. You. Because of this. Ninetales, I believe, would either be going for Will-O-Wisp onto the Raichu, or just like a flamethrower. I don't know. Oh, me. Alright, so this one I am just going to Rip Discharge. I don't think the initial hit is going to take out everything. It will take 2 turns regardless, but because we are Kind of taking out everything. It's whatever. When it goes down. Oh. Succumb to your paralysis. It's fine. It does also slightly restrict the amount of experience that the Ponyta is getting, which it's helpful to not give them too much. You don't want them leveling up all that much. And we can't actually use Discharge in this double battle. There's an annoying amount of ground types that we have to deal with. We are going to deal with the Gigalith first, just because that ensures that we can keep our Ponyta alive, because if they survive for a single turn, they're going to body press our Ponyta. That is a 4 times effective move. That is also hella powerful. Well, like, the weight disparity is huge. Oh, defense disparity. It's just everything. There's literally no way for Ponyta to survive it. They do not much. We're fine. I was only expecting that to do a little bit more, but it's not stab, so it's fine. We actually go after the Flygon here. Do another setup. We do need to be at +4 because thank you. We need to be at +4 because we have to be using Psychic. Discharge would be... All my moves are, like, not very effective. I'm not as worried about an Earth Power from Sandaconda, just because Alolan Raichu has fairly decent special defense, and we actually have... That's always so loud. We actually have a special defense boosting nature. So even though that was like a decent amount of damage, even though it was stab boosted, it's in the sand, it's got all the boosts it could possibly get. We have reasonable enough defenses that it's not too bad. Alright, not too bad, all things considered. A little bit behind, but again, we couldn't really use our multi-hitting move or our spread attack to actually get much advantage in that one, so yeah, we do our best. Thank you, Ponyard. More time with us is over. One of the few moments where it is kind of, it does make a difference to enter the doorway at a particular point, because it's one of the rare doors where you enter is where you actually come out. That doesn't happen in all doors. Don't need too many. And if we need more than that, we're already doomed. That's fine. The hail will take care of it. We opt to fight this trainer because the other one has I believe it's a Flygon and a Corviknight, which is much more annoying to deal with. Alright, we should be fine. I can't remember if it's like just like run into like an unfortunate range at some points, but we should be able to get through this just fine. Electro Ball on the Gigalith and then Psychic on the Rhydon. Should be fine. If not, that's an unfortunate way for the run to end. Even though we're ahead like nearly 3 minutes. Thank you. There have been times when it just like stops at like 1 health and I'm just like, what do you mean? Yeah, they've got fucking first impression. That has also killed some runs in the past as well. Alright, so I will need to heal before I get to the fight with Marnie, because not only is there another Sucker Punch for me to potentially deal with, I need to be setting up against a Liepard, and a Snarl is going to make that a little bit more annoying. But we managed to survive. That's all I can ask. Survive this. I'm gonna use it now. Shit value candy, but whatever. I'm already in the menu for healing, so whatever. Don't really want to have to come back into the menu. And I can also kind of afford to be a little bit more fast and loose with it. Things aren't as tightly wound. And I can also be a little bit more flexible with my experience, especially when it comes to like the use of candies, because I bought the extra candies from at the adventure. Right, we need to be at least +2. So what we want to see is a nasty plot or a torment. Thank you. The Croaker. Fair play. More Spec Ball. We've got to use Electro Ball because we need to discharge the Grim. Nice. There are still like a few things that could be a little bit scary later on, like actually no. Blossopod. First impression. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, that went pretty good. Also, after the hot fight, because it's going to be just a whole bunch more just exposition, dialogue, and yada yada yada, just some good old yapping. I'll use that opportunity to get a last few minutes of ads in, so that the pre-rolls are taken care of for the rest of the run. Alrighty then. Setup. Guard. Psychic. Alright, now I have to go back to Psychic. And then we discharge the last two. A little unnerving. Noise. Alrighty then. Ooh, -3 minutes. And now for 3 minutes of our own. Enjoy the ads. Or go grab some water. Grab a snack. It's late. Alright. We don't want to use the boost yet, we want to wait until after this fight. And after this fight, we're going to be going and grabbing a whole bunch of calciums that boost up our stats as much as we possibly can. Just need to avoid that person. That's way more calcium than I was expecting. Not that. Whoa. Oh, we got to use all of them. Never mind. Alright, that actually makes sense, because we are running Sword, there are less, Sword has less special attack EVs, because there's more fighting, there's fighting and rock compared to ice and ghost, which tend to have much more special. Blech. Oh, nope, wrong one. Ah. A metal claw. Yeah, we have to do 2 right away. Electric Ball and then Psychic, yeah. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it won't take 2, just because we get the plus attacks. Or +2 to our attack. Yeah, nice. 208. Alright, we can discharge these first two. Alrighty. This should get the job done as well. Sorry, double. Thank you, buddy. Sorry, double. You may get to live the next turn. Or the next fight. I know, man, it's not... that one's not up to me. We can't use discharge here because they're both ground types. We just use a nasty plot and then just psychic our way through. Plot, please don't bounce. Snap that. Cool. Cool. Ah. Surely I'm not still taking snap trap, right? Yeah, I was about to say, if we're still taking snap trap damage, that would be very, very... Aquaring. Now we can psychic everything. We don't have to use psychic on you. I'm getting punished. I'm getting punished. Not the greatest, but whatever. I am going to quickly grab the XP that's in the car park here before we get into these fights, which should be fine. Should be the operative word. Put that up right here. The hell am I doing? Distracted. Alright, one nasty plot, then spam Electro Ball. Hopefully we don't take too much from a crunch that is almost definitely going to be shown first. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, should be fine on this fight. Next fight, B shouldn't be a problem. Ryan shouldn't be a problem. Ryan shouldn't be a problem. I say with not the most confidence in the world. And then Eternity shouldn't be too bad. Alright. Yes, should be very straightforward. We just spam discharge. Yep, there's the first impression. Ooh, wee. Ugh. A crit would have killed. Fortunately, they are not going to be faster than me. The Barraskewda is usually the issue when it comes to speed, but we will be fast enough. The only way that it would have been much more scary is if they were able to get the range set up, but they didn't, so I'm not worried. And there it is. It is nice to not have to worry about, like, doing any setup or anything, just let it rip. Sometimes it just works. Doo-doo-doo. And of course, because we don't have to set up, we're saving a whole bunch of time in that regard. We are saving a whole bunch of time. Alright, now B. Why don't I set up and then spam psychic? And hopefully. Hopefully. Where are my thoughts going? Lost my train of thought. I want to set up here, but I also don't want them to bounce. They'll probably just go for high jump kick. That's fine. And we can just psychic everything. We can actually afford to do like discharge on everything and then psychic on the Machamp. It's the last. Alright, need to remember to actually use the psychic. Sure, more gold, I suppose. We'll take those. Right. Two nasty plots and then psychic everything, because again we don't have anything that's even neutral against the Duraludon, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm hoping it's the Yawn. They might just like, I don't know, double Solar Beam. What the fuck noise with this thing? There's one. Oh my god, that's the worst timing of that. I'm just gonna Alright, now I'm at +6. Hold this. And now I don't have to worry about them setting up any additional weather. I can just swing for the fences. Yeah, we are definitely going to be losing some time on this one. Actually not losing as much as I was expecting. Alright, I'll take that. I was kind of expecting to lose much more than that. Alright. So hopefully not run into too many troubles in the world. Because that a lot. Let me not run into... I'll just shut up. I swear if that Rookity ran into me. I've had a stern talking to. Where's the Corviknight gonna show up? They didn't, thank you. I'm usually expecting a Corviknight to just like jump scare me. Alrighty. Just a few more fights to survive, and then and then I'll be out of your hair. Do, do, do. Bam, bam, bam. Right, we mash B. And we also do not want to be setting up on the Escavalier because we saw what happened earlier with the Glossopod, the amount of damage that they were going to be doing to us. Yeah, that is even with a Mega Horn from this thing. So we do not want to set up on it. So we don't. Simple. Electro Ball. And then we set up. Probably gonna... what is it? Threat Shot? Screech! Alright, sure, whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of these Pokemon are quite slow, which makes our Electro Ball even more powered. Cool. Even better, we don't, because we didn't get hit. The what's it called? The Berserker went for Screech instead of like a throat chop or anything else. We don't really have to do any healing coming into this fight. The safest thing to do would be to grab one of the Litwicks out of the party, or grab the out of the box, the Pawneard, just as a just in case. But I think we'll be fine. We're pretty safe on the physical damage front, special damage front, which is where the bulk of their damage will be coming in. The cross poison isn't going to do nothing. Like it would do some damage, but I don't think it's enough for us to actually worry about. Psychic. Yeah, it's going to take 2 Dragon Pulse. Half health from a Dragon Pulse, and that was a crit, so yeah, we're fine. And of course we had to crit them in return. Would have been nice to get the crit on that first turn, so we didn't even have to take a hit whatsoever. But it's fine, we just need to mash until we get the dogs ready. Or until the dogs come in to save the day. And they come to save the day. And I need the summons. Excuse me. Alright, and now that the dogs have shown up, what we do here is we use one of those guard specs that we picked up all the way back in Spikeman. We may take some hits, and I'm just gonna Godsmack. Focus on just staying alive. Because the dogs is where we get the most of the damage. Yes, we can help out with the psychic, but... oh, we're fine. Oh, that was like nothing. What the hell? Yeah, that was nothing. Especially with the help of the light screen. Yep, we get our hit in. Hopefully they don't cleanse it all off. They don't. We get the flare. Perfect. Everything going according to plan. Alright, we get to do it again. Him with bash. I don't think we finish him off here. We do. That was incredibly good. That is like about as good as you can hope for with the Eternatus fight. That was like a perfect set of circumstances. Like, you do prefer that the Eternatus hits you on that first turn, because if they do the Wormwind on the double wall, it means that with all the double ledges they're going to faint, and then it's extra time getting with the fainting animation and the extra animation with them bringing the Snorlax out, which it would be better if they just had the Snorlax out at the start, because it does have high horsepower. Stopping Tantrum, one of those. A ground move. Ooh, getting a lot of gold on this run. Love to see it. Now I just need to hope that this Eternatus' stats aren't going to give me some issues. We should be fine. It usually takes a real rough Eternatus to actually run into some unfortunate ranges, but because the odds are low doesn't mean it's zero. Alright, so as we're flying over, I do want to one thing that's nice about when doing the GST route, which is the do absolutely everything route, because you had already grabbed some max mushrooms, you use those in place of the X speed that we're going to use, because you only need to be at +1 to be faster than everything. But the good thing about the max mushrooms is that you also get another +1 to your special attack, which means that it eliminates a lot of those ranges that could potentially show up, and also it means that you're much less likely to get knocked out while trying to set up. Because, yeah, the max mushrooms essentially act as an X item, but it's an Omni boost. It gives +1 to everything. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that works. How they work. I could just be spreading misinformation, but I'm pretty sure that's how they work. Alrighty. So we need to do 2 turns of setup here. Pressure. It's going to be EX special attack. What are you going to do? You're going to attack. a decent amount of special defense, so they're probably going to go on the defense. Don't need the extra one, so right now we're going to go for a flamethrower. Nice. One of the ranges that can show up, or that can be a thing, is that flamethrower on the shield mode Aegislash. And a lot of these ranges only really start to show up if you end up below 180. Like below 180 is where you start to get into a little bit of danger territory, but you should be fine. And the ranges are only really on the Aegislash and also the Charizard. And I know because there have been some circumstances where I have not one-shot the Aegislash and also the Charizard. But we have 200 special attack, we are fine. As long as I don't use Flamethrower on the Dragapult. And yet again, I get another really, really fun, good one with the Alolan Raichu. It is just, it just keeps on showing up, and I'm always happy to see it. This speedrun, this category has given me, yes, this category and this like speedrun has given me a much greater appreciation for Alolan Raichu. I was like, I liked it. It was a fun guy. But now I just have a much more firm love for the Pokemon. Alrighty. $353.12. That's pretty good. There were definitely some less than stellar moments, like the amount of extra encounters I had.